There are mornings when we wake up feeling heavy. A project we poured our heart into is ignored. A colleague who seems to put in less effort gets promoted faster. A friend enjoys dazzling success while we're still trudging forward step by step. In those moments, a familiar question rises in the mind. Why isn't life fair? It's a legitimate question, but if we let it dominate us, life becomes a long string of disappointments. That is why we need to learn how to stop waiting for life to be fair, not as an act of surrender, but as an act of freedom and inner strength. From the beginning of time, human beings have lived in asymmetry. Some are born strong, others fragile. Some happen to meet good teachers and friends. Others grow up amidst violence and poverty. Nature has no obligation to distribute fairness according to our standards. When we demand the universe to be absolutely fair, we're imposing an artificial rule on a complex reality. Recognizing this is not about pessimism, it's about liberation from illusion. Once we stop waiting for fairness, we stop wasting energy on complaint and start channeling it into action. Like a farmer who cannot order the rain, but can choose the seeds and till the soil, we too can act in ways that improve our harvest. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things." When you see unfairness as a tragedy, it becomes a tragedy. When you treat it as training, it becomes your coach. A core principle of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. Some things belong to us, our thoughts, choices, actions, and values. Other things are beyond us. The weather, the market, other people's opinions, recognition. When we mix the two, we live in anxiety and frustration. When we separate them, we find peace. Imagine rowing a boat on the open sea. The wind, the waves, the currents, all beyond your control. Yet you still hold the oars and can steer your course. The Stoic does not curse the wind. She learns to use it or adjust the sails. That's inner freedom. Applied to modern life, the dichotomy of control means this. Instead of waiting for fairness, which you cannot control, focus on building skill, character, persistence, which you can. Each day you become a little stronger, and unfairness loses its grip on you. Many people fear the word acceptance because they equate it with giving up. But in Stoicism, acceptance is the first step to effective action. You cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. Like a doctor who cannot treat a patient who denies the illness. Accepting that life is not fair means ceasing to demand it to be fair, and then fuming when it isn't. That fuming consumes your mind and drains your drive. Letting go of impossible expectations frees your energy. And that energy can be poured into action, the only thing that truly changes your life. When you strengthen your skills, discipline, and resilience, you open new opportunities yourself. In a sense, that is the fairness you create. Not fairness from outside, but freedom inside. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, faced war, plague, and betrayal. He could not control those adversities, but he trained his mind to respond with composure and led his people with wisdom. He did not wait for fairness. He lifted himself to stand firm. That's the power anyone can learn. Stop blaming, start training. Once you stop waiting for fairness, you are forced to look in the mirror. What can I do? That question moves you from victimhood to authorship. When you treat adversity as practice, you turn the wall into a springboard. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything. It means acknowledging your agency. You cannot choose the cards you're dealt, but you can choose how to play them. And often it's the play, not the cards, that decides the outcome. Some use unfairness as an excuse to quit. Others use it as a reason to grow. The difference is not in how much unfairness they face, but in the attitude they choose. Stoicism calls this amor fati, love of fate. Not only accepting, but embracing it as the material of growth. Look at your own life. Is there a failure that made you stronger? An unfair blow that forced you to learn a new skill? That's living proof of amor fati. The final crucial point is action. No philosophy will change your life unless you practice it. Each day, choose one small thing within your control and move forward, even if circumstances are still unfair. It may be learning a new skill, improving your health, strengthening your discipline. Hundreds of small steps accumulate. you will go farther than sitting still in complaint. To make this lesson vivid, look at real people. Nelson Mandela endured 27 years of unjust imprisonment. He did not wait for fairness before acting. He turned that injustice into a platform for reconciliation and became a symbol of freedom. Helen Keller was born deaf and blind, a cruel unfairness, yet transformed it into motivation to learn, becoming a writer and inspiring speaker. In everyday life, you may know colleagues or friends who turn setbacks into drive. They are not fundamentally different from you. They simply chose a different attitude. And that is something anyone can learn. To stop waiting for fairness, train yourself in small Stoic habits. Morning journal. Write down what is outside your control and what is within it. Commit to focus on the second. Negative visualization. Imagine losing what you have to appreciate it more and to soften the shock of unfairness. Ask, is this within my control? Whenever anger rises. If not, release it. If yes, act. These little practices gradually reshape how you see the world, helping you stop waiting for fairness and start creating your life. When you stop waiting for life to be fair, you reclaim inner freedom. You are no longer a puppet of circumstances, no longer drowning in resentment, envy, or comparison. You return to being the master of yourself. This is the Stoic spirit, steadfast in storms, calm in chaos, acting wisely despite unfairness. You cannot choose the cards you're dealt, but you can choose how to play them. You cannot choose the wind, but you can adjust the sails. You cannot make life fair, but you can become resilient, clear-eyed, and active enough to create your own form of fairness. This is the path of freedom, strength, and dignity. Don't wait for life to be fair is not a call to pessimism. It's a call to wakefulness. It invites you to step out of victimhood, let go of impossible expectations, and return to your true power, your mind and your actions. Each time you stop complaining and start acting, you affirm your dignity. And that is the deepest fairness of all, the fairness you grant yourself.